an extremely sad day. Not only is it a sad day for me, it's a sad day for the city of New Orleans, especially for the Holloway family. One of our very own police officer, Daryle Holloway, passed away shortly after 9 o'clock this morning.
Gunned down in the line of duty on the eve of Father's Day. The New Orleans Police Department remembers one of their own as the manhunt intensifies for the suspect accused of killing Officer Daryle Holloway in the 7th Ward this morning. That suspect is identified as Travis Boyes. What we know about his criminal history as officers and SWAT members search the streets of the Crescent City for this alleged gunman. A special breaking news edition of WDSU News at 10 o'clock starts right now.
This is breaking news on WDSU.
Right now, the search is on for a suspect accused of gunning down this New Orleans police officer. Daryle Holloway's end of watch came this morning. He was a 20-year veteran of the New Orleans Police Department. And we see them every day, brave men and women in blue who laid down their lives to help keep you and me safe. And today, one of those brave men was gunned down in the line of duty. Officer Daryle Holloway was a dedicated member of the New Orleans Police Department for more than 20 years, and we'll have more on him in just a moment. But right now, the manhunt intensifies for his killer. Police are combing the streets of St. Roch looking for this man, 33-year-old Travis Boyes. Investigators say that he was being transported in Officer Holloway's patrol car when he somehow made it into the front seat, shooting and killing Officer Holloway. This all happened around 9 o'clock this morning near the intersection of Elysian Fields and North Claiborne Avenue. We are on your side with team coverage tonight. From the Desire neighborhood, we have details in a vigil held for Holloway. And then in St. Roch, the manhunt is intensifying as police scour that neighborhood. So we begin with Travers Mackle, who is in St. Roch for us right now. And Travers, what do we know?
Well, Randy, a massive manhunt that includes SWAT team members from not only the New Orleans Police Department, but Louisiana State Police and U.S. Marshals. Take a look behind me. This is live here at the scene. About an 8-block perimeter blocked off here with police going door to door. We do know that they've arrested 3 men. We don't know if they're connected to this case at all. They are clearly still looking for Travis Boyes. So he was not one of the ones, it's our understanding, taken into custody, but they're using canines. They're going door to door. A lot of neighbors on edge because they realize that the person who is at large is accused of shooting and killing a police officer. Check out this video from about an hour and a half ago as things intensified when they took 3 men into custody. SWAT team members were running all over this area near North Durbany Street, canvassing the scene. It looked like they may have a break in the case, but that proved at this point, at least, to not be true, as they still have helicopters in the air and massive amounts of police officers here at the scene looking for this person, Travis Boyes. Once again, police plan to be out here for the foreseeable future, well into the night, and the scene still active, still going on out here, Randy.
And Travers, just hours after Holloway was gunned down, citizens of the Crescent City banded together in the Desire neighborhood to remember Officer Holloway. WDSU reporter Casey Ferrand was there and joined us now live. Hey there, Casey.
Hey, Randy, there's been a widespread amount of disbelief and sadness among the community after the shooting death of Officer Holloway, and that's spread across his family and friends as well as his colleagues in uniform and the community he served for more than 20 years. Now, earlier today, as word of the tragic death of Officer Holloway spread, some that knew him came out to the St. Roch neighborhood as police searched that area for the suspected killer. And Holloway has deep roots in the community. He attended Corpus Christi Elementary and was a graduate of St. Augustine High School. Throughout his 22 years with the NOPD, he served in the city's 5th district. At least 10 years of that time was spent working with children between ages of 5 and 12 in the Cops for Kids summer camps. The officers there build relationships between police, local youth, and their families. Holloway also spent much of his career engaged in community policing in the Florida and Desire housing projects. Many of those former residents held a vigil this evening as many citywide share a sense of shock at the loss of a man they call more than a friend.
Holloway was the type of person that you could count on him, rely on him for any and everything. He was that type of police officer that he did his job diligently, but he was not like a road cop or anything. He handled his business the way he was supposed to. And at the same time, a lot of people looked up towards him. His community looked up towards him.
And for them to do this to him, that's wrong. That's unfair. I grew up with this man serving the NOPD in the Florida Project and in the Desire. He ain't no pick and choose. He tried to find the good in a person, even though they looked at the bad. He always tried to do what was right for the community. He tried to get stuff together, and if it got out of line, then he'll break it up. But he always tried to give us, you know, the time to enjoy ourselves. He didn't make us feel like we was living in no prison or living in no project. He tried to make us, that was our home. He tried to make us feel safe back in.
Now, there has been an outpouring of support for the Holloway family as well as the NOPD on social media. His daughters, Christina and Kayla Holloway, have been also tweeting throughout the day. Christina says in a tweet, "I was looking forward to spending Father's Day with my dad. My dad used to tell me to cremate him when he died and sprinkle his ashes over the Florida projects." Kayla simply says in a tweet, "Please pray for my family in our time of need." On your side in the Desire neighborhood, I'm Casey Ferran. Randy, back to you.
Casey, thank you for that. You know, tonight there are also many questions kind of surrounding the moments leading up to Holloway's death and why the suspect had a gun while he was in custody. So we sat down with security expert Mike Kahn, who is also a former SWAT commander, to learn what's supposed to happen prior to a suspect being transported to prevent an officer from getting hurt.
Once a subject's placed under arrest for whatever crime, then you do a search incidental to arrest, not a pat down, but an actual search. So the primary officer would conduct that search looking for any possible weapons or anything that could hurt him. And a transport car comes, the transport car is going to usually switch up handcuffs, and the transport officer is going to do another search just to make sure nothing else was missed.
Now, the shocking news of Officer Holloway's death in the line of duty has many local leaders also sending their support. Mayor Mitch Landrieu is weighing in on this tragic shooting and sends his thoughts and prayers to Officer Holloway's family. In a statement, he said, quote, "This despicable, cowardly act represents the lowest of the low. Killing an officer in the line of duty is an attack on our community that will not stand. We are bringing together every law enforcement resource at our disposal to find, capture, and prosecute Travis Boys for this heinous crime. The heart and soul of New Orleans is heavy today as our community mourns one of our city's finest. The thoughts and prayers of all New Orleanians are with Officer Holloway's friends and family and with the entire NOPD family." Sympathy tonight also from Congressman Cedric Richmond in a statement that reads, quote, "Daryle was an outstanding police officer, human being, and friend. My heart aches for his family, and this loss will be felt by the entire community. This tragedy should remind us that every day when our law enforcement officers suit up to protect us, they are putting their lives on the line. Daryle died in the line of duty and will always be remembered as the hero he was." St. Bernard Parish President Dave Peralta is also sending his condolences. Today he issued this statement saying the citizens of St. Bernard wish to express their sympathy to Police Officer Holloway's family and the men and women of the New Orleans Police Department on the loss of a police officer who was mortally wounded protecting and serving all the citizens of the metropolitan New Orleans area. As a retired NOPD sergeant, this loss is especially painful. My thoughts and prayers go out for Officer Holloway and all law enforcement officials who daily protect and serve our citizens. So just who is this man police are looking for, Travis Boys? So here's what we know about him. He is 33 years old and according to records pleaded guilty to an attempted criminal escape charge back in 2004. Now, this morning, he was being transported to Orleans Parish Prison after being arrested for aggravated battery and outstanding warrants. And as you can imagine, this killing is also sending shockwaves through the New Orleans Police Department. But this is not the first time the NOPD had to say goodbye to one of their own who was killed in the line of duty. In the year since Hurricane Katrina, the department has lost 5 officers, including the death of Officer Holloway. Our breaking news team coverage continues online and on your tablet and smartphone. Just head on over to WDSU.com or the WDSU smartphone app to see more of our continuing coverage and a slideshow of the manhunt. Our breaking team coverage will continue when we come back. At 10:13, right now an intense manhunt ramps up for this man, Travis Boys. Police say that he shot and killed an NOPD officer this morning, and we have live team coverage of this shooting right here on WDSU. A memorial for slain officer Daryle Holloway happened just hours ago in the Desire neighborhood. Plus, SWAT teams continue to swarm in St. Roch, and that's where you find WDSU reporter Travers Mackle, who's been out there for us for hours. And Travers, what can you tell us right now?
Well, Randy, I can tell you that Franklin Avenue opened moments ago, and then if you take a look up here, it may get behind the tree line, but there's a helicopter with a spotlight shining it down in the neighborhood to help the officers. We'll get it when it comes around again, but it's helping the officers who are down streets like this, still canvassing the scene. Still a massive SWAT team presence out here with marshals, NOPD, members of the Louisiana State Police, all looking for this accused cop killer, Travis Boyce. They believe he could be holed up in this area. 3 men have been placed under arrest. We don't know what for or if they're connected to this, but clearly none are Boyce because they're still looking. And let's give you another live shot of this helicopter here. You can see it better from this angle. You can see it circling. It's got the big spotlight. They're clearly trying to help the officers on the ground. Here it comes around again. They're clearly trying to help the officers on the ground now that nightfall is here and it's 10:15 at night, and trying to find Travis Boyce, who they believe is still in this area in the St. Roch neighborhood, Randy.
Travis McElforest, thank you for that. And the community is also coming together to remember Officer Daryle Holloway. A memorial forum wrapped up just about 2 hours ago in the Desire neighborhood, and that's where we find WDSU's Casey Ferrand. Hey there, Casey.
Hey, Randy, well, there was a crowd of people here around 7 o'clock this evening. They lit candles as they all mourn the loss of a man they say diligently served this community and treated the people here with respect and dignity. Disbelief and sadness from many throughout New Orleans as word of the tragic death of Officer Daryle Holloway spread.
And when I seen it, I literally lost it. You know, it was just a tragic thing to me. Holloway didn't deserve this. He wasn't the type of person to have this type of thing happen to him.
Holloway has deep roots in the community. He attended Corpus Christi Elementary and was a graduate of St. Augustine High School. Roberto Carney last saw his friend 3 weeks ago.
Holloway was the type of person that you could count on him, rely on him for any and everything. He was that type of police officer that he did his job diligently, but he was not like a road cop or anything. He handled his business the way he was supposed to. And at the same time, a lot of people looked up towards him. The community looked up towards him.
Throughout his 22 years with the NOPD, he served in the city's 5th district. At least 10 years of that time was spent working with the youth in the Cops for Kids summer camps. Officers build relationships between police, local youth, and their families.
I know him from me being a teenager, growing up with, even with my brother and them and family, people getting in trouble. So he always try to talk to them to go the right way and not the wrong way. But for this to happen to Holloway today, that's wrong. It hurt a sour hope.
Holloway also spent much of his career engaged in community policing in the Florida and Desire housing projects. Many of those former residents held a vigil Saturday evening in the area where the new Florida housing development is being constructed. They are shocked at the loss of a man they considered more than a friend.
He wasn't just a cop. He was family to us. NOPD finest, Holloway. We loved him. He had respect for us. He was the type of cop. He respected you if you respected him.
We got from most of the people we spoke to today is that Holloway had a deep impact on anyone he came into contact with, and all of those people are saying that they are hoping that his killer comes to justice. On your side, I'm Casey Ferrand, WDSU News.
Such a sad situation with Father's Day tomorrow, but take another look at your screen here. This is a man police are looking for, Travis Boyce. So if you know where he is, there is currently a $10,000 Crime Stoppers reward for his capture. So if you have any information, call 822-1111. And you know, Quaylen, it's been a very hot day for all those men and women in uniform doing that manhunt. You know, very humid conditions as well.
Yeah, unfortunately, the heat has calmed down for tonight. Still humid though, Randy, and very warm outside tonight, but dry conditions, thankfully, across the area. Here's a look outside our Terrebonne General Medical Center out of Homa. We're seeing those dry conditions and just a few clouds in the sky right now. Satellite and radar showing that we did have more cloud cover earlier this afternoon at times. Sun and clouds hit or miss. Rain and thunderstorms as well isolated in nature now. Dry conditions, and that has been shown over the last 2 hours. Our high today was 92 degrees. Our normal 90 degrees. That put us 2 degrees over that. Our record 97, so 5 degrees off that record high set in 1990 and 1953. It's 83 degrees right now at the airport in Kenner. Winds are west southwest 5 miles per hour. Relaxing a little bit more tonight, so the humidity and the warm temperatures will stick around. Heat index values still making it feel like 91 in Galliano, 94 at the Lakefront Airport. That mixture of heat and humidity. High pressure, which was once weakened with the passage of the remnants of Depression Bill, now a post-tropical system moving through the mid-Atlantic, is now re-strengthening that high pressure off the coast of Florida. So that helped the temperatures to be bumped back up again this afternoon, and that will be consistent through Sunday as well as Father's Day rolls in and as the summer season rolls in. Summer solstice officially 11:38 a.m. Sunday. Tonight, partly cloudy with an isolated shower chance, mainly dry, though warm and humid. Highs temperatures overnight 74 to 81 degrees. Father's Day high will be 88 to 94 degrees, but the heat index, the focus once again, 96 to 102 degrees plus for some spots. And you can see the forecast model illustrating the isolated chance and nature of that rain and storm chance on Sunday afternoon into the evening. As the sun goes down, we're looking at isolated shower chances to diminish into sunset. Temperatures overnight 75 to 80 degrees. The tropics are all quiet. No development expected over the next 5 days in the Atlantic basin, including the Gulf of Mexico, Caribbean Sea, and the Atlantic Ocean. That's always great news. Here's your Father's Day forecast. If you're headed out for an early tea time Sunday morning, 8 o'clock, 81 degrees with a heat index of 86. By 1 o'clock, 90 degrees. Those grills will be going, I'm sure, and maybe even some fishing trips tomorrow. Heat index 99 degrees by 4 o'clock, 92. Heat index continues on the high side, 101 degrees. Is how it'll still feel at 4 o'clock. And I can say early, happy summer and happy Father's Day. Here's your 7-day exactcast. The 90s, they stick around in the next 7 days. Hazy, hot, humid at times. Lots of water, stay hydrated. AC will be a great thing to feel over the next 7 days. Randy, back to you.
Yeah, take away tomorrow, find a pool for Dad.
That's right. Take care of them.
Exactly. Quayla Murphy for us, thank you. Now, coming up in sports, find out about another off-the-field incident involving Saints team captain Junior Galette. Plus, we'll follow our breaking news coverage as the manhunt for this man Trappist boys continues in St. Roch after a New Orleans police officer is gunned down in the line of duty.
Hello everyone, I'm Fletcher Macklin. New Orleans Saints defensive team captain Junior Galette is back in the news today for another alleged off-the-field issue. Galette was arrested in January because of a domestic incident at his home in Kenner. All criminal charges were eventually dropped. On Saturday, NOLA.com, the Times-Picayune newspaper, was the first to report about a video which shows a man who's reportedly Junior Galette in a brawl and hitting a woman in the face with his belt. This is the video. It can be found on YouTube under the title Spring Break 2013 Beach Brawl. The man wearing the white shirt and white shorts is reportedly Junior Galette. 18 seconds into that video, the man hits a woman in the face with his belt. Later in the video, the same man reappears and starts throwing punches at various people. The video is more than 2 years old. It's from March of 2013. If this is Galette, it's going to be very bad for the 27-year-old outside linebacker. When reached for comment by the New Orleans Advocate newspaper, Galette's attorney said the man in the video is not Junior Galette. Attorney Ralph Whalen tells the paper the video, which again is from 2013, is disturbing, and he doesn't understand why this is being dragged back into Junior's life. The Saints say they've been made aware of the video and they've sent it to the league for review. And tonight, the Webb Street Canal Street Chronicles did some serious investigating, and they may have found a smoking gun, so to say. The photo on the left is from Junior Galette's Instagram page. It's from March of 2013. It's he and his friends at the beach. The website clearly shows that based on what the men are wearing, it appears to be the same group involved in the beach brawl. They match the photos with the video, and the evidence appears to be strong. ESPN reports that Galette is scheduled to meet with NFL officials later this month to determine if he should receive punishment for the January incident at his home. Galette met the media prior to today's video being released. He met the media earlier this week for the first time this offseason, and he apologized for his off-the-field issues. The Saints wrapped up off-season training on Thursday. The team is now off for the summer. They'll report to training camp in White Sulphur Springs, West Virginia, the last week of July. Randy?
Thank you for that. Well, right now, the search is on for a suspect accused of gunning down this New Orleans police officer. Daryle Holloway's end of watch came this morning. He was a 20-year veteran of the NOPD. Those search efforts have zeroed in on the St. Roch neighborhood, and that's where you find reporter Travers Mackle. And Travers, what can you tell us about what's happening right now?
Well, Randy, let me show you. That is the SWAT team van down the street right there. I know it's about 3 blocks and it's very difficult to see, but you still have a lot of members of the SWAT team canvassing this area. They've spent probably 5 hours now, at least, going door to door, using canines to go underneath homes. And it's not just the NOPD, it's Louisiana State Police as well as U.S. Marshals. You can see this van coming in our direction. We do know that they took at least 3 men into custody, but it does not appear that any of those men are Travis Boyce, as this search is still ongoing. It's not known why those men were taken into custody, but that happened about 2 hours ago. Now check out this video from about 2 hours ago when those men were taken into custody. You can see the mass amounts of SWAT team members that were out here in the area, canvassing it, going door to door. Like I said, a lot of neighbors on edge here because they realize just how serious of an incident this is. And the person that they believe to be in this area is also the person that cops say opened fire, shooting and killing a police officer early this morning, Randy. That is obviously the latest. And like I said, SWAT team bus going round and round here. The NOPD also has a command center set up. They appear to be here for the foreseeable future, continuing the search for Travis Boyce, Randy.
All right, Travers Mackle for us. So a quick look at the weather again for us, Quaylen. Another going to be a hot day for us tomorrow, right?
Yeah, not too much change over the next 7 days. Consistency with this forecast, hot and humid. That includes Father's Day. Kickoff to summer, 11:38. The summer solstice occurs Sunday morning, and we'll go throughout the day with those summer-like conditions. Low and mid 90s, heat index values closer to 100 plus for some spots, and that will continue through the afternoon and early evening hours. Monday, a slightly better chance for rain and storms, but really our typical pattern, hot, humid, and hot, humid.
There you go. And again, as the search for the gunman in this NOPD murder investigation continues, make sure you stick with us here for WDSU and on our website, WDSU.com. We'll keep you updated throughout the day tomorrow and overnight.